Hi, I'm Dominic and you're watching another Shop Talk. And, well, the time has come. Really hope you're asking the time has come for what now, because otherwise that will be a pretty short Shop Talk. Someone just asked. So, the time has come to do many things. Things that I promised you I'd do and things that I've wanted to do for a while. So, you could probably take this as getting some of the stuff that I should do out of the way, and I can't do most of it in this Shop Talk because it's doing videos mainly. Videos that I promise you to do, like the one about the T-Light based board game idea for the game figures that I made for the 2x4 competition 2 years ago. Yeah, that's how behind I am. Let me get something out of the way first. The t-shirts I talked about last Shop Talk, and no, this isn't one of them. This is from Tim Sway, and I just had to mention that. Anyway, the t-shirts that I mentioned, they're on my Etsy store. I put a link to that in the last Shop Talk. I put one up in this one too. I didn't think of putting one in the last Shop Talk for the first couple of days, so maybe you missed that. And there are not that many, but if there's an interest for them, I'm also not quite sure about the pricing range right now. Just let me know what you think, or whether you'd want one, and I'll make more. That's that. Also, I haven't heard back from Chris Martin yet, so I can't really send him this t-shirt yet, but he'll get one. But speaking of things to get out of the way, the biggest, I hesitate to call it a regret because I don't like regrets, but something that I wish I had actually gotten around to is doing the 2,000 subscriber giveaway, and I'm very slowly approaching 4,000 subscribers now. But, well, maybe that picks up again and puts me under pressure to do a new giveaway, but I'm tangenting again. Isn't that a word? Anyway, at 2,000 subscribers I said I'd do a giveaway. In the mode for that would have been, or was, that you would leave comments on my homepage about things that I should make. And I did get a number of comments, and then I would make something or things based on these comments and send them back to you. And I wasn't quite sure whether I'd send them to the comment that I picked, the user who gave the comment that I picked, or whether I'd do a raffle for those. And I'm kind of leaning to the raffle idea because this way everyone has a chance, or more people have a chance to get this. But yeah, that's almost 2,000 subscribers ago, and I think a year in the not really making. So I decided to do something again along those lines, but with a better understanding of what this means for me mentally, because last time I couldn't get into any of those ideas, although some of those ideas I really wanted to make, and I know that doesn't really make sense, but I'm trying to make sense of it this time, and I'll do this in the coming weeks in a separate video announcing this kind of a challenge for me, somewhat. I also want to, I do want to give back, and that's of course an important thing in this community and in life in general. And I have not actually promised things, but had them in my head that I'd send this guy something because he helped me out at some point, or that guy. And yeah, I want to get around to doing that, find a way to pay people back. And on the same token, when cleaning up my shop, I found a lot of stuff that I don't need. And I don't mean all the scrap wood, but actual tools. And while I would like to sell the stuff, because some of it is still in pretty good condition and mostly complete, check out the list on my homepage. And while I'd like to sell those, I'm not expecting much, and I think giving them to someone who can actually make use of them is also worth at least something. And I would like to get the shipping costs out of it. I could say, well, I'm in Germany, so I'll do it in the German version to save on shipping costs. There are English-speaking viewers in other European countries, and shipping shouldn't be that bad. And if you really, really want this, if you're covering shipping costs and taxes, if there are any, then I'll gladly send it to you. but I think that would kind of be beside the point, because it's a lot of money to pay for a tool that you can get for a lot less where you live. Another thing that I feel the need to apologize for, there are two things actually in this category, but the major thing is, when I got my planer, I said I'd do a review about it, but I'd have to lie if I said I'd used it in the last year. So I sometimes wish that I could use it, and I can, although it's pretty much cramped there under the workbench, but it's not set up properly. I think I need to sharpen or exchange the knives, and I actually got exchange knives, but I kind of had this healthy respect, borderlining on fear of this tool, especially because it hasn't really worked that well for me, which is probably because I haven't been using it right, or it's not set up correctly. I've had boards that were, well, this shape rather than the parallel, which I can't really do with my fingers, i.e. too much material taken away on one side, and I want to get back into it because I think planer thicknesser is a great tool to have, especially if you're using rough sawn wood, which I still have a lot laying around. And I'm still convinced that if I did more with rough sawn lumber or the boards in general, it would be a great investment, and I think for the projects that I used it on, it kind of was, and it still has the potential to be, but I don't feel comfortable with doing a review, not only because I don't have any planer to compare it to, but also because I haven't really used it that much. So that would not be of any value to you. So I apologize for promising this video, but as it turns out, I probably won't do the review about it. Another small thing that I should apologize for, or at least I feel like I should, although there were no strings attached. Matthias Wondell sent me his tilting router lift plans to incorporate into my router lift that I wanted to build in the table saw wing, but I decided to go with a non-tilting lift that's built into my router, even though I had plans to use this router as my handheld router and use a different router, which I also already have in the tilting router lift. But on the one hand, I just wanted to get this done to be able to use a router table, any kind of router table or router lift actually, and somehow this precision work, I wouldn't say that it isn't for me, but I ran into a few snags, and so I decided not to use it for now, but I still want to thank Matthias for sending it to me, and I just felt like I should mention it, and so I did. I'm also getting into a better flow with my projects, at least it feels that way. The box for the spices I did in pretty much one go. I did work on several other things while I did that, but mainly I started this project and I kept at it till I was finished with it. A few days later, then I did the voiceover and the video, and it was actually a great feeling, because I have so many projects that just sit there and eventually get finished, but it's hard to get back into them the way I was when I started. I think I should try to keep the whole video making process more packed together from start to finish, and then I think some of the problems that I've been having will evaporate. Incidentally, the project I'm working on right now is just the same way I started it, and I'm working at it, and I'm about to finish it. And that, I have to admit, it's a great feeling. And with all that being said, don't forget to check out my main channel if you haven't, for new videos. There's also my Patreon campaign, which you probably already know about, as a way of contributing to my channel and to what I do. What I do will always be free, but if you support me, I can do it more often, or more thoroughly, or whatever. So enough tangenting for today. Thanks for watching. Please share this video if you think it's worthwhile for others to watch. I'd also appreciate if you shared my main project videos to get them in front of more eyes. And remember to be inspired. Now we can start. And I got a piece of wood that's... Now if there was a pun attached to this and I had done it on purpose, then that would be pretty cool. Not really, but it kind of hurt. So, and I don't mean all the scrap. It's just. Do you know that feeling? You just did a really great outtake, not on purpose, of course, only to realize that you hadn't turned your camera on yet.